Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal Part 191 based on novel. So let's start. While confused, a blood-red light appeared and erupted from his eyes. It immediately covered his body, then he squeezed the celestial jade and swallowed it. He stared at Master Flamespark with a ferocious face. When Master Flamespark realized that something was off, his right hand quickly moved and the 49 fragments immediately appeared before him. At this moment, Qing Shui let out an extremely loud roar that was filled with the might of the heavens. It echoed like a bolt of thunder. Large amounts of cracks appeared before Qing Shui. The cracks were torn apart and surged straight toward Master Flamespark. At the same time, endless cold wind came out from the torn space. The wind created a storm that was like the wrath of heavens, and it rushed toward Master Flamespark. Master Flamespark's expression became gloomy. He let out cold snort and then the 49 fragments immediately rotated to form a vortex. A powerful suction force came from the vortex, and whether it was the cracks or the cold wind, all of it was sucked into the vortex. Master Flamespark shouted, "Qing Shui, this old man showed you the celestial jade to help you remember. I had no ill intent." Wang Lin was very far away, but he almost immediately retreated. His hand quickly formed seals to place down restrictions, and he barely escaped. His face was extremely pale as he started at the distance. "I'm going to kill you." Qing Shui charged out with a fierce expression. He was too fast, and as he charged out, his hand reached out, breaking the void. He appeared behind Master Flamespark. His eyes were bloodshot and he mercilessly clawed at Master Flamespark. The 49 fragments in front of Master Flamespark suddenly appeared behind him and collided with Qing Shui's right hand. There was a loud bang. Even with how powerful Qing Shui was, he was forced back 1,000 feet. His eyes became even more red and he entered a strange state. He then let out another roar and rushed out again. Master Flamespark frowned. He didn't think that the evil youth would enter such a state after seeing the celestial jade, so he was unprepared. When he saw the state the other was in, his heart sank. Could it be that the state he's in right now is like he was after he underwent the change and was filled with demonic thoughts? Master Flamespark was secretly angry. When Qing Shui rushed in again, both of Master Flamespark's hands formed a seal. The 49 fragments suddenly scattered and released a golden glow. The gold lights intersected and formed a formation. Celestial formation, law transfer. As Master Flamespark shouted, the golden formation flew off the 49 fragment and shot into the air. It immediately surrounded the incoming Qing Shui. As Qing Shu roared, his body was imprisoned in place. At this moment, Master Flamespark's eyes lit up and he shouted, "Celestial killing thorn." In an instant, the golden formation began to rotate and golden thorns appeared and stabbed into Qing Shui. These golden thorns contained a destructive aura. Wang Lin was extremely far, but he could still feel it. As countless golden spikes pierced his body, the ferociousness on Qing Shui's face intensified. "I originally forgot the past, but you made me remember." There was a trace of sadness in Qing Shui's red eyes. This sadness was so strong that not even tens of thousands of years could dilute it at all. "Call the wind." Qing Shui raised his right hand and pointed at the sky. As Wang Lin's eyes suddenly widened, he saw a black wind gather around Qing Shui. It suddenly formed a tornado that expanded outwards. The golden formation suddenly collapsed and the black wind formed 8 black dragons that swept across the sky. Their huge bodies merged with the void, exposing only their heads. The dragons opened their mouths and blew cold wind toward Master Flamespark. When the cold wind blasted forth, it was as if the world no longer existed and everything was in ruins. Master Flamespark's expression became more gloomy and he quickly retreated. His right hand formed a seal and he shouted, "Celestial formation, assemble origin." Large amounts of origin energy came from the 49 fragments to form 49 rays of light that shot out toward the incoming cold wind. Countless explosions echoed in the world. Wang Lin continued to retreat, but blood was coming out of his orifices. Every explosion shook his mind, but his eyes were extremely bright as he stared intently at the battle. "Call the wind." This is the power of Call the Wind. After 49 explosions, Master Flamespark retreated a few steps. His expression was slightly pale. Operating this formation was a big burden on him. Originally, battling someone like Qing Shui shouldn't be this hard, but the difficult part was that Qing Shui's spells were simply too powerful. This is definitely not an ordinary celestial spell. When Master Flamespark controlled Wang Lin's body, he didn't see Wang Lin use it. This was his first time seeing it, and he was shocked greatly. Rumor has it that when the Celestial Realm collapsed, Celestial Emperor Bai Fan had a bizarre death. As Bai Fan's disciple, don't you want to find the reason and avenge him? Master Flamespark frowned. Unless it was the last resort, he didn't want to battle Celestial Lord Qing Shui. This would be a great discrepancy from his original plan. Qing Shui's eyes filled with killing intent and he charged forward. At the same time, both of his hands formed a seal and touched his chest. His seal immediately changed as he pointed at the sky and shouted, "Summon the rain." In an instant, drops of crystal-like raindrops appeared within 5,000 kilometers of the area. These raindrops were red like blood. After covering the 10,000 feet with red light, Qing Shui's hand formed a seal, then he pointed forward and shouted, "Summon the rain, ice seal." Bursts of cracking sounds could be heard as all the water droplets became ice crystals. The ice rapidly expanded, and in almost an instant, they connected to each other. They spread like crazy and charged toward Master Flamespark the center. Celestial Lord's shocking change caused him to lose his sanity and slaughter countless Celestials. Does Celestial Lord hold no doubt in your heart about what happened? As Master Flamespark shouted, the 49 fragments rotated around him and created a giant vortex. The fragments enlarged several-fold in an instant and were still growing. From what I found, at the same time you went insane, there were other people who suffered the same fate in the other 3 celestial realms as well. Perhaps the answer can be found in the Cultivation Alliance under the Rain Celestial Realm. Even if the answer can't be found, I promise that I'll do my best to help you go to the Wind and Lightning Celestial Realm to find the reason. The 49 fragments around Master Flamespark rotated like crazy, forming a large vortex. The vortex spread and began resisting the ice coming from all directions. Master Flamespark became angry and shouted, "I'm not afraid of you, I just don't want to fight you. The reason you were able to break the seal was due to me helping you in secret. Otherwise, how could you have succeeded? Qing Shui, don't force me to fight." Qing Shui suppressed the killing intent in his eyes as he looked at Master Flamespark and said, "Give me a reason to gift you the G realm." Master Flamespark's expression was serious as he said, "If Celestial Lord wants to restore your cultivation, you will require a lot of origin energy. Rather than devouring cultivators here in the All-Heaven star system, come with me to the Alliance star system, where there are a lot of powerful cultivators. I believe it won't take long for Celestial Lord to be restored back to your peak." Qing Shui calmly said, "This reason is not enough. After you were sealed, the Celestial Realm encountered a disaster that caused it to collapse. Do you not want to know what happened? Rumor has it that the Cultivation Alliance has a living Celestial. If you come with me, you will know everything." Qing Shui silently pondered. After a long time, he slowly said, "Still not enough. When I was young, I was an elder in the Cultivation Alliance. In the Cultivation Alliance, there is a scroll. Rumor has it that this scroll fell from the sky after the Celestial Realm collapsed, and it contains a trace of the ancient Celestial Realm. When I left, no one had been able to open the scroll. However, rumor has it that the scroll contains the real reason the Celestial Realm collapsed. All of this must have something to do with your sudden change. After all, it was just too much of a coincidence. Less than 100 years after your slaughter, the Celestial Realm collapsed. If you say there is no connection, I don't believe it. Qing Shui, we are not enemies. If you still disagree with these reasons, then say no more and let us battle. I'll not hold back and use the full power of this magical treasure." There was a flash of killing intent in Master Flamespark's eyes. The 49 fragments suddenly stopped spinning, but a terrifying aura came out from within them. Qing Shui coldly looked at Master Flamespark and a cold aura slowly spread out. Master Flamespark's heart sank and he let out a sigh. He had really tried. For tens of thousands of years, He looked through the records of the celestial realm to find the causes and effects of many events. Eventually, he set his sights on refining the celestial realm and obtaining the G realm to help him. Unfortunately, he didn't expect the result to be like this. Qing Shui calmly said, "If you are lying, I'll detonate the G realm." His right eye glowed bright red and a ray of red light immediately shot out. The moment the lightning closed in, all the ice around Master Flamespark disappeared. The lightning shot directly toward one of the fragments in front of Master Flamespark. Shortly after, rays of G-realm lightning shot out from Qing Shui's right eye and landed on each fragment. The entire celestial formation treasure gave off a cold aura and flashes of red lightning. The entire treasure gave off the aura of the G-realm. Celestial Lord can rest assured, this old man is not lying. Master Flamespark laughed as his right hand formed a seal and pressed forward. The 49 fragments rotated in the sky, forming a huge, black vortex. Celestial Lord, come with me to meet my friends in the All-Haven star system, then we can open the passage to the Alliance star system. As Master Flamespark spoke, he was about to step into the vortex. Qing Shui didn't hesitate and also stepped forth. Just at this moment, Wang Lin clenched his teeth and shouted in the distance, "Since Senior has finished refining the celestial formation, I hope Senior can return my Thunder Beast." Master Flamespark paused for a moment before turning toward Wang Lin and smiling. "I still have to use your Thunder Beast for a while. After opening the passage and we enter the Alliance star system, I'll return it to you. You are someone fated with this old man. If you can leave the Thunder Celestial Realm with your own strength and reach the Thunder Celestial Temple within 1 year with my token, then I'll give you another opportunity. I'll take you with me to the Alliance star system." As he spoke, he slapped his bag of holding and a 3-inch golden-purple horn immediately flew out toward Wang Lin. Master Flamespark turned around and entered the vortex. Qing Shui did the same, but right before he entered, he looked toward Wang Lin with a mysterious light in his eyes. After sending out a divine sense message, he disappeared into the vortex. In almost an instant, the vortex dissipated and Wang Lin was left alone in the void. "I can feel a familiar aura from you. You have learned Call the Wind and can be considered my master's successor. Learn it well as it is one of my master's 6 great spells. Don't let it go to waste in your hand." After catching the golden-purple horn, Wang Lin silently pondered after he heard Qing Shui's message. After a long time, Wang Lin took a look at the golden-purple horn before putting it away and flying away. The Thunder Celestial Realm was now suddenly missing 49 fragments. Although the vortex was gone, the collapse from before didn't stop. Instead, it became even more intense. The wind echoed across the Thunder Celestial Realm like ghostly wails. After entering one's ears, it would cause one to feel a chill in their heart. As Wang Lin flew, he wasn't able to merge with the world at all. He could only carefully avoid the spatial cracks as he flew aimlessly in the Thunder Celestial Realm. The Celestial Gate is closed, so how do I even leave this place? Also, that Celestial Lord Qing Shui, could he have noticed that I once had the G realm? Wang Lin's figure flickered as he avoided a spatial rift, and then it was as if a bolt of lightning had struck him. His eyes lit up as he remembered something Shengong who told him when introducing the Thunder Celestial Realm to him years ago. I must find Shengong Hu right now. Wang Lin closed his eyes and searched for Shengong Hu using the Dao Soul left with him. After a moment, he charged toward a direction. Shengong Hu was quickly flying through the Celestial Realm. Although the Celestial Gate was destroyed, he knew another method of leaving this place. That was the only transfer array placed here by the Thunder Celestial Temple. This was the reason why messengers of the Thunder Celestial Temple could enter this place without going through the Celestial Gate. However, although the transfer array that belonged to the Thunder Celestial Realm could allow people to leave, there were great limitations. First, each transfer couldn't take a lot of people. Second, only messengers of the Thunder Celestial Temple could use it, as others weren't allowed to enter. Anyone who entered would be killed immediately. This was a rule that was strictly followed ever since the transfer array was placed by the Thunder Celestial Temple. Even if someone accidentally entered, they would often be immediately killed. The might of the Thunder Celestial Temple couldn't be disregarded. Right now there were cracks in his relationship with the Thunder Celestial Temple, so that was why he didn't come here earlier and chose the Celestial Gate. However, the Celestial Gate had closed and the Celestial Realm was going through a widespread collapse. Not only did this slow Shengonghu down, it forced him to go toward the Thunder Celestial Temple's transfer array. I wonder where my lord is, Shengonghu silently pondered. He still firmly believed that his lord wouldn't lose. Zhong Konglai was also flying through the void. As a newly admitted member of the Thunder Celestial Temple, he naturally knew where the transfer array was. He was flying quickly toward the transfer array. When he was with Shengonghu, he considered going to the transfer array as well. However, considering Shengonghu's status, he didn't mention this and went with Shengonghu to the Celestial Gate. The battle outside the Celestial Gate made him very excited. Although the Celestial Realm was unstable, his heart was firm. He, like Shengonghu, believed that Wang Lin wouldn't lose. I don't know where Shengonghu is right now. I believe he must be like me, heading toward the Thunder Celestial Temple's transfer array. Zhong Konglai's body flickered and he dodged a spatial rift that suddenly appeared. In truth, after heading to the battle outside the Celestial Gate, he immediately found that there were no other Thunder Celestial Temple messengers there beside him and Shengonghu. It was then that he realized that all of the messengers of the Thunder Celestial Temple had gone to the transfer array. Zhong Konglai and Shengonghu were heading toward the transfer array from two different directions. Wang Lin was also moving through the void as he headed toward where Shengonghu was based on their connection. However, as the collapse of the Thunder Celestial Realm intensified, more spatial rifts appeared. If he was careless for just a moment, he would be devoured by one. As a result, he couldn't move very fast, as he had to pay attention to the changes in the space around him. As he flew, aside from the wailing, there would also be explosions echoing across the void. This sound became much more obvious as Wang Lin got closer to the collapsing fragments. Along the way, he personally saw two fragments collapse into massive amounts of debris. Half of it was sucked up into the spatial rifts and other half was scattered in all directions. Some of it flew directly at Wang Lin. The force created wasn't any weaker than the full attack of an ascendant cultivator. Even though these attacks weren't fatal to first-step cultivators, if they were unlucky and a spatial rift appeared near them during the encounter, then it would be a life-and-death situation. Wang Lin didn't have to worry about it. Whether it was the stop spell or his other spells, they would allow him to easily avoid them. Wang Lin was calm as he flew. His figure often flickered to avoid spatial rifts as he flew straight ahead. However, as he flew further, more and more cracks appeared. It was as if a piece of paper was ripped in countless places and could break down completely at any moment. Wang Lin frowned. He could vaguely feel that there was quite a large distance between him and Shengonghu. He wouldn't be able to catch up in a short period of time. After pondering for a while, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and then he pressed his finger between his eyebrows. He opened his mouth and spat out a grain of sand that immediately changed into a giant fragment about 1,000 feet large. This fragment was refined by divine retribution, and even the black wind from the Celestial Lord couldn't break it, so it should be able to withstand the spatial rifts. Wang Lin pointed with his hand. The fragment flew forward and Wang Lin carefully observed it. He saw the fragment collide with countless cracks in an instant. The force from inside the cracks spread across the fragment, but it had no effect on the fragment as it charged through. At the same time it charged through, it was as if the spatial rifts were flattened and showed signs of closing. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed and immediately stepped onto the fragments. He sat down in the lotus position and his hand made a seal. Origin energy poured into the fragment, causing it to glow brightly. Its speed increased several-fold and it charged straight ahead. As a result, his speed was much faster than before. Wang Lin only had to pay attention to the cracks larger than 1,000 feet, he could completely ignore the other ones. The fragment moved very quickly through the celestial realm. After half an hour, Wang Lin relaxed a bit, but just at this moment, he looked ahead and his expression changed. He saw a dim ray of red light flying across the distance. There was a beautiful woman inside that ray of light. However, her face was pale and her eyes were filled with panic as she constantly dodged spatial rifts and was almost swallowed by them several times. The fragment Wang Lin was riding on was very eye-catching in the void, so the woman immediately saw Wang Lin's fragment. Her face was filled with joy and she was about to head over when a 100-foot-long spatial rift suddenly opened before her. Her face immediately went pale as she tried to dodge. However, she was too late and her eyes became filled with despair. Wang Lin was calm as he withdrew his gaze. Given his personality, he wouldn't save someone for no reason. His fragment flew straight ahead without stopping. The woman was filled with despair as she struggled to get out of the crack and urgently shouted, "Senior, please save me. Zhong Konglai is my senior brother." Wang Lin frowned. He had seen this woman before. When Zhong Konglai passed by with more than 10 people, she was among that group of people. When they met, she had just reached the illusory yin stage. However, now her cultivation had fallen and she was almost out of origin energy. She could probably only use ascendant cultivation right now. The fragment under Wang Lin suddenly turned and headed straight for the woman. In almost an instant, the fragment slammed into the 100-feet spatial crack. The moment the crack collapsed, the woman jumped out and landed on the fragment. Her face was pale and her eyes were still filled with shock. She looked at Wang Lin with a grateful gaze and whispered, "Thank you, Senior, for saving me." Wang Lin frowned as he looked at the woman and calmly asked, "Do you have celestial jades?" The woman was startled and quickly nodded. Wang Lin was calm and slowly said, 10,000 celestial jades for saving your life. In addition, 10,000 celestial jades for every hour you stay here. The fragment under him rushed into the distance. The woman silently pondered. There was an indiscernible flash of contempt in her eyes. She didn't expect the person her senior brother Jean respected so much to be a person like this. If she hadn't personally seen the battle between him and the strange white-haired man, she wouldn't have expected the person before her to be a senior. Without a word, she threw a storage bag and said to Wang Lin, "There are 50,000 celestial jades inside. Senior, please count them." Wang Lin caught it and wiped out the divine sense on the bag. His divine sense scanned it and found that the numbers were roughly correct. He closed his eyes and no longer paid any attention to her. The woman didn't expect Wang Lin to really count, and she looked down upon him in her heart. After letting out a sigh, she sat down a distance away from Wang Lin. She looked into the void and her eyes were filled with confusion. "Big brother Jean, where are you?" Even though there was one extra person on the fragment, its speed wasn't affected. It rampaged into the distance just like before. The woman had recovered from her confusion. As she watched the fragment smash into the spatial rifts, she sucked in a breath of cold air. What kind of treasure is this? It is too terrifying. The woman personally saw almost all the cracks close under the impact of the fragment. No matter how powerful the force inside the crack was, it had no effect on the fragment. Just at this moment, her eyes narrowed. Off in the distance to her right, there were 3 rays of light flying through the void. There were 2 men and 1 woman. Their expressions were gloomy and their eyes were filled with anxiety. "Shi Zifeng." The woman on the fragment quickly stood up. The 3 people in the distance immediately noticed her, and their eyes were filled with joy. They rushed toward the fragment with no hesitation. Wang Lin's expression was neutral. He didn't slow down at all and continued at the same speed. The 3 people seemed to be unable to catch up. The woman named Shi Zifeng quickly shouted, "Zhonyun, please wait." The woman named Zhon quickly said to Wang Lin, "Senior, please stop. Junior's good friends want to hop on." Wang Lin opened his eyes and revealed impatience. He ignored her. The woman named Zhon stomped her feet and slapped her bag of holding, making a strand of red silk fly out. The red silk immediately extended and flew toward the 3 people chasing them. The woman named Shi Zifeng quickly grasped the red silk and immediately pulled herself closer. The 2 men did the same and finally the 3 of them caught up and landed on the fragment. The 3 of them let out a breath of relief and immediately noticed Wang Lin in the distance. One males looked at Zhong Yun and asked, "This fellow cultivator is?" Without waiting for Zhong Yun to speak, Shi Zifeng took a closer look and her expression immediately changed. She quickly walked a few steps forward, bowed, and respectfully said, "Junior Shi Zifeng greets Senior. Thanks, Senior, for saving Junior twice." As she spoke, Her face became red. Wang Lin looked at the woman. She was a bit more beautiful than Zhong Yun. He vaguely remembered that she was at the Celestial Gate and was one of the people that were kicked into the void when Master Flamespark was controlling his body. Frowning, Wang Lin felt very troublesome. If he had known this would happen, he wouldn't have saved Zhong Yun no matter what. He asked, "Do the three of you have celestial jades?" Shi Zifeng was startled, and before she could reply, Zhong Yun quickly said, 10,000 celestial jades for saving your life and another 10,000 celestial jades an hour for staying here. Shi Zifeng nodded and said, "That is natural." She and the two beside her immediately took out celestial jades from their bags and respectfully handed them to Wang Lin. Wang Lin accepted them, then he closed his eyes and ignored them. Along with Zhong Yun, the four of them sat together and looked at the void. They all had the feeling of surviving. The fragment was very fast. As they went farther into the celestial realm, Wang Lin's frown remained. Along the way, he met a lot of cultivators that were scattered or grouped together. When these people saw the fragment, it was as if they were looking at their last hope and did their best to get on the fragment. Some of them were friends of the four people on the fragment. As a result, more and more cultivators arrived on the fragment. However, Wang Lin didn't have to worry about it, as whenever a newcomer got on the fragment, Zhong Yun would state the celestial jade requirement. At the moment, Wang Lin had several bags of holding, and every single of them contained a large amount of celestial jades. There were nearly 20 cultivators on the fragment now. These people didn't sit together. Other than those acquainted with each other, the others all sat by themselves as they looked into the void with complex feelings in their hearts. Some of them immediately recognized Wang Lin and immediately relaxed. In their minds, with Wang Lin here, they would be safe. As the fragment flew through the void, more people gradually arrived on the fragment. In the end, there were more than 50 people on fragment. Wang Lin frowned as he looked at the void past them and saw that there were several dozen rays of light following closely after them. The cultivators in those rays of light couldn't catch up to the fragment and didn't know anyone on the fragment. Without the help from someone on the fragment, they couldn't catch up to the fragment by themselves. However, by following the fragment, they were much safer. The spatial rifts showed signs of closing after the fragment passed by them, so it was much better compared to before. More and more cultivators began to gather, forming a long trail behind fragment. It was like a long tail that followed closely after the fragment. In their view, this was the only path to survival. Naturally, there were some powerful cultivators that didn't need help from the people on the fragment to reach the fragment. However, once they landed on the fragment, no matter what cultivation level they were at, they would hesitate before handing over the celestial jades in exchange for a place on the fragment. A big reason for this was due to the fame Wang Lin had gained in the battle outside the Celestial Gate. Even corporeal young cultivators would respectfully call him senior after seeing Wang Lin. After touching the bags of holding with celestial jades, Wang Lin let out a sigh and ignored these people. He could feel that Shengong who was not far away. Just at this moment, a large piece of land suddenly appeared in front of them. This piece of land was about 10,000 feet wide and the edge of the land kept collapsing. A large amount of earth would fall off every time it collided with a spatial rift. There were 3 people standing behind the piece of land, and all of them were at the corporeal young stage. Behind them were nearly 100 cultivators who all looked greedily at the 1,000-foot fragment Wang Lin was on. Leave behind that celestial fragment. The man at the edge of the 3 was a man in a golden robes, and his eerie voice echoed through the void. Wang Lin calmly looked at the 3 of them and looked at the 10,000-foot wide fragment under them. They also had the same idea of using the fragment to lead the way. However, the fragment they obtained hadn't been refined by divine retribution, so it wasn't sturdy enough. The fragment under them continued to break and they probably had to change fragments quite a few times. The golden-robed man stepped forward into the void. He avoided the cracks and headed straight for the fragment Wang Lin was on. One of the 3 was an old man in white who also stepped forth. They left behind only the blue-robed cultivator on the fragment, and he coldly stared at Wang Lin. Wang Lin was calm as he raised his right hand and pointed with his finger. The beast bone tattoo on the back of his right hand immediately flew out and turned into a beast bone in the void. The 4 ferocious horns gave off a cold glint. A ghostly light appeared in the eye socket of the beast bone, and a dense killing aura suddenly filled the area. In almost an instant, before the golden-robed man could use a spell, his body trembled and grey began to spread throughout his body, starting from his legs. His eyes were filled with horror. Without hesitation, he hit his forehead and his origin soul flew out. Wang Lin sneered as he slapped his bag of holding, and the 1 billion soul flag flew out. It turned into black mist and charged toward the man's origin soul. At this moment, the white-robed old man closed in. With no regard his companion, his hand formed a seal and he shouted, "Celestial spell, thunder chop." Thunder gathered like crazy before him, forming a thunder blade that looked like it could cut the world, and it flew straight toward Wang Lin. A sharp, whistling sound suddenly appeared. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. Before the thunder blade closed, he could feel the rich origin energy within it. The moment it closed in, Wang Lin's body flashed and his origin soul flew out and devoured the thunder blade. After his origin soul returned to his body, Wang Lin's face turned slightly red. He stood up and coldly looked at the old man. Then he took a step and charged out. The white-robed old man's expression changed greatly and he retreated without hesitation. As he retreated, the blue-robed scholar frowned and jumped out. Wang Lin's eyes became cold. He normally wouldn't provoke others, but if someone provoked him, he wouldn't hold back. At this moment, he pointed at the white-robed old man and used the Stop Celestial spell. The old man immediately felt as if his body had sunk into water and was tied up, causing him to stop. Not only did his body stop, but even his origin soul was affected, causing him to stop using his origin energy. Wang Lin took a step while his finger formed a sword. When he passed by the old man, he pointed to the spot between the old man's eyebrows. The old man coughed out blood and explosions came from inside his body until it finally collapsed and his origin soul escaped in terror. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as his hand reached out and caught the old man's origin soul. "Fellow cultivator, stop!" A loud roar came out from the blue-robed cultivator. His body moved like lightning as he charged toward Wang Lin. His right hand formed a seal and an illusory sword flew out from between his brows. The sword flashed as if it was teleporting and suddenly appeared before Wang Lin and mercilessly stabbed toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes were cold as he crushed the origin soul in his hand. He turned his head and the third eye immediately opened. Red light opened up in the shape of a fan and immediately shrouded the illusory sword. Under the red light, the illusory sword gave off large amount of black gas and immediately collapsed. The blue-robed cultivator immediately stopped 100 feet from Wang Lin. He gloomily stared at Wang Lin and said, "Your spells are indeed amazing. Let us just leave this matter." He suppressed the killing intent in his eyes and slowly retreated. This video will end here.